trading right now might feel a little weird, especially when we look at the follow through from Monday, but the challenges of Tuesday. I'm going to show you a few levels that you can put to work right away and how they worked today, and a little bit of contrast with Monday. What went right Monday? We had 3 for 3, actually 4 for 4 winners, focusing on relative outperformers, 5-minute time frame. And then today was a little difficult. So I'm going to show you both sides of this, but the same levels I'm going to keep on my charts again and again. Now I have JP Morgan up here because what I thought I'd do is start from the smallest and go to the largest. So we talk about index sector stock. A lot of traders have favorite stocks. Even if they're futures traders, they have favorite stocks. JP Morgan happens to be one of those. For me, I like trading JP Morgan. It's a great proxy for XLF, and XLF is the number one weighted sector in the Dow, right? So sometimes if you find yourself gravitating to a stock first, if you're not going top down, at least go bottom up. So JP Morgan, XLF, the Dow. If the Dow is trading above a key level, all right, and we've been talking about this level a lot, but the repetition hopefully will bring this home. What did the Dow have going for us? So here's the bell, ding, ding. Trading above the previous session close, trading at and above the, as I like to call it, the equator, okay? Anytime you have the 200 exponential on your chart, think of it as the equator. North of it is the bullish hemisphere, south of it is the bearish hemisphere, right? Okay, so then there's that. Neutral environment. Well, if I'm above those levels, is it easier to be bullish or bearish? Well, it's easier to be bullish. However, the real confirmation of all of sort of the boxes being checked. Above the 200, check. Above the previous session close, check. And then here is our Pingala, right? Check. And that Pingala, of course, is that retracement of the 5-minute candle. So you've got a high-low of the first candle of the morning after the bell, the 9:30 to 9:35, 5-minute. This is your Pingala right in here. And once we get above that, that's going to be really an intraday cue on, hey, from above this level, we got to be bullish. All right, well, let's go and take a look from the Dow to the XLF. Same idea, right? It should start to be popping out at you to start saying, okay, our favorite sector in stock, by the way, is our financials. Oh my gosh, my dog clearly doesn't like financials. Hang on. Now, after a quick consult, she was just really upset that we couldn't get into financials. Okay, so sorry about that. So if we take a look, first box checked. This was the relative outperformer, gang. If you're looking at why the Dow was kind of off to an early charge, it had to do with its number one weighted sector, and that is XLF. All right, JP Morgan's a number 2 weighted stock. Let's do the same process. Where are we above the previous session close? Big gap up. So clearly, previous session close, no problem. Well, above that level. Uptrend right on the morning, excellent, right? What else are we looking at? Well, where are we in relation to 200? Well, the 200 is way down in here, so clearly above that too. And then here's our Pingala. And then once we get north of that, it's long only, right? It's long only. Let's take it now then to the stock level. And by the way, if you're a futures trader, I find that futures traders actually make excellent sector and stock options traders because top down is already a very natural fit, right? It feels very normal because futures traders are focused on the commodity. They are focused on the index, and then going to the, say, for example, crude oil to XLE to Exxon feels very natural because we're starting usually at that commodity level. But if you're a stock or ETF trader watching this, just inherit that top-down view, that index sector stock view. So here's JP Morgan. All right, now what's the connection? Heavily weighted, number 2 in the XLF. XLF's number 1 weighted in the Dow. Boom, right? Green. This is why, and you can see the 200's way down in here. There's my 200 propulsion. So clearly we are in the bullish hemisphere. This is why these names on our list this morning of day trades were the ones we were most interested in. And then the next thing we can look at, let's look after that. What else can we do with these levels? Well, if you highlight, here's our Pingala there. So if I highlight the Pingala, here we go. Above it, great. Now, a lot of traders ask me, Rag, can we play momentum? Can we buy as the market's breaking out of the Pingala? Only in a green environment and only if we have a green upper row on the multi. Momo is not my jam, but that is valid. What I prefer is coming back and testing. So this is the difference between a Momo entry, right? And this is a retracement or exhaustion entry. So anytime you're waiting for price to come back down to support, a retracement or reversion, that's more about the market pulling back and then exhausting. So if momentum is things getting started, exhausting is kind of that pullback, right? Getting tired. However you want to think about it. But right there at the 1045 candle, right into the Pingala. Okay? All right, so why was today a little bit more challenging than yesterday? One of the things that we had, and I'm going to walk you back to one of our trades from yesterday, from Monday, one of the things that we had with Monday's action is right on the bell, we had trends. If you have a trend in the morning, if tomorrow morning we wake up and you're running the multi-trend and you have a green or red trend to kick off the morning, especially green, and we're trading above those key levels that we've been talking about now for a couple of weeks, previous session close, above the 200, etc., right? The Pingala is going to be a quicker, effective way to get in fast and early, and it's valid. If we have a market that's kind of choppy, it's kind of still figuring out what it wants to do, right? So take a look at, for example, the NASDAQ this morning. Yeah, eventually it went green, but take a look at what it finally did to go green. Am I looking to short the NAS? Not for a second, right? Above the previous session close, above the equator, and there's your Pingala, right? And then if I'm looking at a relative outperforming sector, you know, what the sector that was on our radar today was Meta, right? The sector on the, and it was very choppy around the Pingala, still above the previous session close in green. This is where we want to get things like calls in XLC. Too bad though, XLC is really, really illiquid. So if I can't go with the XLC route, the great proxy for XLC, if I like something in XLC, we'll end up having to go with Google or Meta. But I better like the way the NASDAQ is moving. NASDAQ, communications, Meta, and Google, right? Very, very choppy, right? Really all over the place. But like I said, yes, you can look for the momentum out of the Pingala, but what would I rather do? I'd rather see that come back into the Pingala. And that actually did not happen with the right market structure. So this would be a very aggressive or iffy setup, but I at least want to show you a couple different scenarios here. I hope this is helping, gang, because I'm getting a lot of great feedback on, Rag, I get how to put that in. Thank you for showing us how to do it. You know, thanks for, yeah, you automated it, but thanks for telling us why that zone is on your chart and how to do it. If you haven't checked out those videos, check out the other free videos on the Simpler Trading channel. I walk through step by step how to put this on your chart as soon as you got the first 5-minute candle complete. All right, take a look at it. Look at those other levels we've been pointing out, the sentiment reads, the 200 propulsion, the Pingala, the previous session close, and watch how you're going to find yourself on the right side of the day in terms of price action. Directional bias is so important, and this is a fantastic way to do it. These are some of my favorite day trading sentiment tools. Hey traders, Raghee from Simpler Trading. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to leave a like and a comment below. And remember, subscribe and click the bell icon so you'll get notified of the next update. And when you're ready to join me for live trading, be sure to head on over to simplertrading.com. I'll see you in the next update.